Hey, I want to show you something really cool here in the North Atlantic Ocean. So this is a system that used to be called Tropical Storm Dexter. Now it's no longer in the tropics. It's way up here to the north of places like Nova Scotia. But just look at the swirl of that thing, guys. It may actually be producing some hurricane force winds, but it's not a hurricane. It's what we would call a cold core low or a mid-latitude low. Take a look at what it appeared like on our visible satellite imagery. Now, the reason it fades out at the end is that you lose the sunshine, and so you can't see the visible. But, I mean, just that thing is just breathtaking, isn't it? Now, at this point, it's in the middle of the Atlantic, so it's really just a concern for shipping and things like that, but could actually bring some higher winds to places like the British Isles, Ireland, and those spots coming up here over the next 7 days or so. Taking you out here to the central Atlantic Ocean, again, we're losing the sunlight there, but this system has a 40% chance for development. It's sort of clinging to life right now. It's not looking all that impressive. It's in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, so obviously it is not any sort of an immediate threat to the Houston area or even the USA. Taking you way over here to Africa. So right now we're in what's called the monsoon season, or the wet season, and all across the sort of equatorial regions, if you will, of Africa. It's where we get these tropical waves. The latest one that's just coming off of the west coast of the continent has a pretty good chance of developing here, maybe even into a tropical storm or hurricane about 7 days from now. It's going to be a long time to watch it, but our GFS model has been pretty consistent in spinning this thing up into a fairly sizable system. So we've got that one here in the central Atlantic, and then we've got another one here coming off the west coast of Africa. Here's the GFS Futurecast taking us out for the next week. The one that I pointed out in the middle of the Atlantic really doesn't look like it's going to be much of anything to watch. The one here, though, coming off the coast of Africa, like I mentioned, has a pretty good chance of getting a bit stronger as we head into next week. So we're now looking at next Wednesday, next Thursday, and notice here how it does spin up into probably a tropical storm by then. And the GFS is showing it kind of continuing on this track and getting stronger. The thing is, I want you to just be wary of any thing that's shared on social media that shows a gigantic hurricane hitting any particular state. It is way too early to have any confidence about that. But what we can say is that that is one to watch, the one that's way over here. That's the low that I showed you that has a 40% chance for development here, probably not going to affect anybody. There's another area of disturbed weather, if you will, here off the east coast of the U.S., 10% chance for development on that one. Not really all that concerned. Also, by the way, this is not highlighted, but some of that stormy weather over by Florida looks like it has a slight chance of spinning up a little area of low pressure that could bring some rain to the Florida Panhandle coming up over the next couple of days. Not going to affect us. At least it doesn't look like it's going to affect us. I thought I'd give you a look at the Fox weather model as well, just to see how well it sort of agrees with the GFS model, and it is showing the central Atlantic low sort of, being a non-factor, but this one here coming off of the west coast definitely being something to watch. Finally, I want to leave you with where we're going to continue to watch as we head throughout the month of August, because by the middle and late part of August, typically we have more and more hurricane activity, and these are the formation zones out here in the central Atlantic. This is called the main development region, and that's where we really have the most likely area of development, right where that wave I showed you is going to go. And then also we do get development in the Gulf and off the east coast of the U.S., and we know we've had some infamous August hurricanes here, like Harvey, for example. So we will keep an eye on everything, but for right now, everything is pretty chill across our portion of the Gulf and across the USA for the most part. Thanks for tuning in for today's Tropical Update. We'll be back with more Texas Live and Local next.